Well, hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are so excited to talk to you about the military spouse transition, but of course, everyone else out there who is experiencing or looking to take a transition in the next few weeks, few months. Welcome to our Blue Star Careers community. These webinars are built to connect you with job opportunities, employer partners, and resources that can help you create a better career pathway. We're so excited to welcome today an established member from our community. You can find more members as well, of course, and resources every Wednesday. You'll meet new partners joining our program in our network. During these webinars, you can learn about practical tips, next steps, and then, of course, we love to see your comments and interactions that you about what your some of those needs. Make sure that you meet us in the neighborhood so that you can find out a lot more resources that are taking place. Today, we're honored to welcome Olivia Fisher, a program specialist with Operation New Uniform. Operational Uniform is a no-cost development program supporting service members, veterans, and military spouses transition into more portable, more meaningful career opportunities. Let's find out more about what this all Operation New Uniform is all about because they also have incredible training, coaching, networking, and an alumni support once you transition and graduate from their programming. So without further ado, Olivia, are you ready?
I am ready to kick this off.
Absolutely. So let's begin. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us where you're watching, when your transition is taking place, or if you are doing a transition into a new job, a new city, anything
Mhm.
transition related. We want to hear more. Let's begin. Transition, transition, transition. Everyone's transitions at some point, transitioning from one city to another, transitioning from one career to another career, maybe from one industry to another industry. Transitioning, of course, is always attached to the military when you are exiting your lifestyle. But we got experts, expertise, and great discussion today for all of you. So let's welcome Olivia Fisher, Operation New Uniform. Olivia, welcome. Thank you so much for taking time to join us today.
Of course. Thank you for inviting me in. I am happy to be here today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And so let's put you on the spotlight. What is it that you do? And so give us a little bit more about your background and your attachment to the military, your connection, and what do you love to do? Coffee or tea? That is also a good
Oh,
question.
all right. I'll save that one for the end. So, I am, as Laura said, Olivia Fisher, and I am the military spouse and online program specialist here at Operation New Uniform. A little bit about me: I am an 8-year active duty Navy veteran. Go Navy. I was stationed in Virginia for the majority of my career and then was blessed to come down here to Florida. Being from Boston originally, I am very happy to no longer have a winter or at least snow. After the military, so I had a little bit of a different exit strategy, I guess. I had gone through a medical review board and was not prepared to leave the military at all. Um, I faced a lot of the same things that, the pains that our students have is, lack of identity, not knowing which direction is up or even which direction to go in. So, kind of how I came to Operation New Uniform is by the good grace of God Himself. I landed the interview with Operation New Uniform. I did not know what a star story was. I did not know how to interview. I went into that interview, I sweat through my blazer, and for some reason, they hired me on the team. So that is my entrance into Operation New Uniform. And kind of what I do here is I am one of the main instructors for our military spouse and online programs. But we do everything from the very first phone call with somebody who's interested in our program all the way until after graduation. So just fully involved with our students as much as we can be, helping them, get to that next career.
That is so exciting. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I totally agree with you. In fact, I would think I was having a conversation with my son, with my adult son, about the whole winter thing situation. So, yes, warm, fuzzy weather that is more doable. It's always more ideal for, I think, for a lot of us who transition. But
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. So this is really great that you were given the opportunity to implement what you learned and some of those strategies that helped you transition to
Oh,
a
yeah.
very rewarding career. And what would you say, really made it this opportunity at ONU to be such a good fit for you? What drove you to really get sparkly and super excited about it to really pick it up?
Yeah, so obviously when I first heard about ONU before I even, got the position here, I love the veteran community, of course. I want to help as much as I can. I think a lot of mill spouses and veterans want to give back to their community. So when I first got here, that's kind of why I was interested. But what made me want to stay at ONU and, you know, put our mission out there and help our students is seeing the growth and the transformation from day one of class until even just the end of the 5 week session or the 2 week session, and seeing it click for people. The confidence comes out. People say, you know what, I am, worth this position. I am. So being able to see self-confidence and self-worth come back to our students and our alumni, I think that is one of the most motivating parts of working here at ONU. Most of us are either military spouses or veterans or big supporters of the community. So we have a lot of heart here, and we treat each of our students, as the individuals that they are. So I think just the genuine kind of personalities here at ONU and sharing that with our students is probably one of my favorite parts about working here, and what gets me up in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're so right. I think this is why I love workforce development and being in this industry because I don't know about you, Olivia, but I know what it did to me making it and getting a very sustainable, but also getting a rewarding career that allows you to really do and expand on your passions beyond. But not only that, not only just me, my family was the recipient of so many good deeds as well. And then
Hmm.
it's one of the great benefits of transitioning with a purpose, finding a career that really makes it, that allows you to really be a little bit more spontaneous, but also more successful in supporting others, and then
Hmm.
triggering all of that goodwill to everybody else as well. And so I
Yes.
think that's probably why this calling is so good for many of us as well. So we want to know more about what you do at Operation New Uniform and how others can take advantage. So give us a
Hmm.
refresher, please, a little bit more. Take it over and walk us
Yeah,
through it. And in the meantime,
absolutely.
let me encourage some of those members who are watching. So we are on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn, and then of course in the neighborhood. Tell us about your transition. Drop a comment. What worked for you? Are you transitioning? Are you looking to transition? And what does transition for you? How is it defined for you currently? So go ahead, Olivia, take it over.
Thank you. Well, this is our first slide, and you will see some of our alumni on there. We try not to use stock photos, so most of the people you will see in our advertising or marketing are our alumni. I'm sorry, I'm having a technical difficulty on my end. There we go. That is my face again for anybody who does not know what it looks like. And I, again, am Olivia Fisher, U.S. Navy veteran and program specialist. So just the brief overview of, what is our mission? What do we do? Who do we serve? So we are a career readiness program, and we really focus on, again, empowering service members, veterans, and military spouses as they are, successfully transitioning into that next meaningful, fulfilling career, whatever that is for you individually. Now, what is it that we do? So, one of the awesome things about Operation New Uniform is we are directly based off of a corporate sales training. And the organization is called Sandler or Sandler Training. And when I first heard that as a military veteran, I said, I'm not sure how corporate sales, plays into all of this. How does that make sense for veterans and military spouses? And it is not about selling goods. It is not about making sales. It is how to present yourself to the professional world, how to market yourself as, a confident, successful professional. And we are here to help you get there. I know that can sound a little bit scary, but we're providing our students with the tools, mindset, and confidence to go forward on their journey, whichever journey that might be for them. Again, we service service members and veterans transitioning from the military. For our veterans, we have the option for in-person classes here in Jacksonville, Florida, or Tampa, Florida. We will be expanding into San Antonio, Texas next year. So if anybody is from San Antonio, keep an eye out for that. So for our veterans, just a very quick overview. The 2-week course in Florida, the in-person course is 2 weeks long. You will learn the exact same curriculum in every program that you come through. So if your veteran is interested in the program, there is also an online. So online and military spouse both have a very similar structure. They both run about 5 weeks long. We meet twice a week virtually, and yeah, that whole program is completely online. So that's kind of how we serve. And now we do have some comprehensive support. Now, that sounds a little fancy, but all of that to say, we recognize and understand, especially with our military spouses, that our students struggle with underemployment, just being unemployed in general. Maybe, you have a non-traditional background and you haven't worked since you were 18 and your spouse joined the military and now we're 45. What do we do now when I'm ready to get back into the world? Or perhaps you have some gaps in your employment. We want to help work you, through that situation, how to talk about it, really kind of meeting you where you're at. And then our impact. So we recently graduated a class last evening from our online program. So we are officially at 859 students. So yeah, a little bit of congratulations. I know I shouldn't congratulate myself, but we are truly, truly honored to have impacted that many lives and supported that many students. At the end of this slide, you will see lifelong support. our graduates truly do become part of the ONU family. After you come through our course, we have a LinkedIn group. We keep our group chats open. Yes, we are career readiness, but we also want to make sure that our alumni, our military spouses, our veterans are feeling the love. We don't want you to graduate and then, say, see you later forever. If you want to, you can, but we do try to stay actively engaged with our alumni, especially those who are still seeking employment. We want to continue to work with you, to follow up with you, to get you to where you want to be. So that is just a little bit of our overview. Now, these are our upcoming classes, so write it down, take a picture if you are interested. We do actually have a military spouse class starting next Tuesday. And then our last military spouse class for the year will be in September. So we are looking to potentially open up some more classes next year, but those are the 2 remaining for 2026. And then, of course, you can see our online calendar. Now, that one is just for veterans, so July and November for that. Just a little bit about our team. So on the left-hand side, you will see Paul Piantone. That is my manager. He is an Army Navy veteran, and he is our online program manager. So if you do come through the course, we will be your main instructors. On the left-hand side, you will see a QR code for our LinkedIn profile. Please feel free to not only add myself, but you can add Paul and Operation New Uniform on LinkedIn. And then should you be interested in our program, there is an apply QR code. Feel free, check out our website. It will take you directly to the website. All right. So this is a little bit about what I wanted to touch on today, and I will try to be brief. But one of the things that we see a lot with our military spouses is identity, potentially a lack of identity, a shift in identity. Maybe you just feel like you don't really know who you are. And that is something that we want to help with. Of course, career readiness. We got LinkedIn, we got resumes, we have interview prep, but we care about you as a person. It's kind of that concept of how can you pour from an empty glass? So the title of who you are is not the same as what you do. At the end of the day, your roles are not going to be your defining factor. As a program specialist, I will be the first person to tell you, I am not perfect. I am a little unorganized even. So, sometimes, maybe that day, maybe today, I am not the best program specialist. I messed up some things. I forgot to put an attachment on an email. I'm getting down on myself. But it doesn't change my identity. I am a 10 out of 10 at the end of the day, even if I wasn't the best program specialist. But other roles can be mother, father, sister, counselor, psychiatrist, or psychologist. We all play different roles in our life, and sometimes we can let that impact how we feel about ourselves. So this is one of the big things, again, that we do focus on, and roles are often changing. Once your spouse perhaps goes on deployment, but you're in charge of now doing the PCS move. So now it's kind of feels like maybe you feel like a single parent because you are holding everything on your own. Maybe you snapped at your child that day and now you feel even more down on yourself. But making sure that you remember that that was one small part of who I am, and it does not define me as a person. Your identity is constant, even when your roles shift. So I always like to ask a question, and you can keep it in your head if you want, but what are some of the roles that you identify with? While you're thinking about those roles, I want you to think about how you allow them to impact how you feel about yourself. No, it's a little bit of feelings, but I think it's important to really check in with ourselves as we're going through this journey. And then rewriting your self-worth, rewriting, your self-confidence. So I'm not sure if everyone can relate to some of these stories, but as we go through life, it can beat you down a little bit. So it can be tricky. It's, for me, I'll use my own personal examples, but you're in 8th grade, you're going to the homecoming dance, and you get stood up. You're going to take a little bit away from your self-confidence. Maybe you're growing up and you were the chubby sibling. It kind of takes away from a little bit of your self-confidence. And going back to remembering that that is not who you are. You are a 10 out of 10. You are moving in the right direction. Some of the things that can take away from our identity that I have seen with our students is, again, career pauses. And it can feel like people might think, it's a lack of ambition or a lack of talent, when in reality, you just had a unique life experience being a military spouse. Again, back to job gaps. Maybe you have places where you feel like maybe I don't have the skill to be at this organization. We are here to tell you, you do have that skill, and we are going to help our students find that, be able to speak to their experience, even if, maybe they've only done volunteer work in their experience. That is still very valuable. So another thing, military spouses are adaptable. I think we all know this, often having to, reinvent, rebuild. Every time you PCS, now you have to find a new community and make new friends and make new connections. So all of this to say is we want to bring awareness to ourselves and kind of rewrite our story, reclaim your confidence, your voice, and use that as you move forward into the future. So I put a couple little common internal narratives here at the bottom, or affirmations, and now these ones sound negative. I'm behind. I am not, competitive in this market. Maybe I'll start again later. I want you to start taking potential negative thoughts and turning them into affirmations. Let me double check. I might have this on the next slide. Here we are. So affirmations, they are going to support your identity shifts. You want them to, of course, be present tense, believable, empowering, and realistic. Didn't put that on the slide, but the more you repeat this, the more you practice positive affirmations, the more you're going to believe it and feel it. They are not fake positivity, and they are intentional to replace those negative thoughts. So for me, if you can believe it, networking is challenging for me. So if I'm saying in my head, I hate networking, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do it, of course I don't. I'm telling myself that. I'm convincing myself. So I'm going to challenge all of you, if you have something like that, to say, instead of I hate networking, I want you to start saying, I love networking. And continue to tell yourself that. I love going through the interview process and meeting new people. I love talking about my professional experience. So kind of taking those negative self-thoughts and turning them around.
You could also say, I'm going to hang out in the neighborhood with Laura. She loves networking, and she will show me how to network.
Absolutely. Exactly.
And Olivia too, of course.
Yes. I'm getting better at it. Getting better with my own self-affirmations here. So just kind of going over some different concepts. Of course, our military spouses, you deserve fulfillment. Your dreams do not have to wait for a perfect time. You got to jump in with, both feet sometimes. And if that's something you want to do, we are here to support you through it. You are allowed to choose yourself. Sometimes being a military spouse, it can feel like you're living for your spouse, living for the Navy or the Army or the Marines. That's what comes first. And it can feel a little tough. So now it's your chance to just choose yourself, prioritize yourself and your self-care and your growth. And it's not selfish, it's essential for who you are as a person. You bring unique value to every space. Every military spouse has a different lived experience, and using that to share your perspective, to, share your strengths and leadership. Those are some things that cannot be taught. By having those life experiences, by having the PCS and the, oh, my spouse is on deployment and now I got a panic situation, I'm going to handle it though. So you are more capable than you realize. And, every challenge you have already navigated is proof that you can handle this. So your story is not defined by your circumstance. It is solely defined by your courage. And you've already shown that you have plenty of it, because being a military spouse is not for the weak. So congratulations on all of that. And then we are just wrapping up this PowerPoint again with some of our alumni here, both military spouse and one of our veterans. So that is a little bit of Operation New Uniform, a little bit about who I am and kind of what it is that we do here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Olivia, for that. And thank you for giving us that beautiful affirmation prep talk, and then giving us the vision to feel the worth of more than just those titles and the conception of this complicated workforce job searching situation that sometimes
Yes.
gets really just hectic, and it really takes a toll on your confidence. And I do have some questions here for you that I wrote
Yeah.
down, and then as I'm watching some of the comments as well. And do I have to be in transitioning to qualify for your program?
Not necessarily. So, if I'm answering this the right way, say you are currently employed at an organization and you want to know, how do I move up? How do I progress? How do I get that promotion? The skills you learn at Operation New Uniform can help you there. You don't necessarily have to be transitioning. You can be an active duty spouse, you can be a reservist spouse, or you can be a former spouse at Operation New Uniform. So I know that is not always meeting the requirements, but here at ONU, you are absolutely able to be a former military spouse as well.
Awesome. This is great. So I guess transition, the definition of transition can be very different for anyone. I mean, depending on what is their next calling or the next sort of a plan or goal, that is
Oh,
what
yeah.
will define in their own terms their transition. Is that,
Mhm.
is that what I'm saying? Now,
Yes.
Olivia, what do you think? Some of us get so worked up over the whole idea of being behind in our
Mhm.
career, behind in that promotion, behind in making X amount of money, behind on
Mhm.
just behind. How do we get over that?
Well, I always like to ask the first question of, who told you that? Who told you that you're behind? Was it you? If it was, we are going to look into ourselves and say, why do I feel this way? And then you're going to talk to other people. Build a community is one of the best ways that I have seen to kind of combat that. Is you are not alone in that boat. So surrounding yourself with people who are doing something positive to move forward with that, I think is honestly one of the best ways to kind of combat that. Also, everyone has a different timeline. And I know it can be hard to accept or to feel that in the moment, but everyone has a different timeline. Success comes in different ways at different times for different people. But I think being able to speak with somebody else about it and kind of get those thoughts out of your head, and sometimes hearing it out loud or talking with a mentor or a coach or even a good friend can kind of help you get out of that negative space.
Awesome, thank you. And then one quick question here: do I have to have a job in the Outlook or know what job I want to get to
Ooh,
participate?
that is a great question and is one that we get often. So, no, you do not have to know exactly what industry you're going into or exactly what, role. You don't have to come in saying, I want to be a program specialist at a veteran nonprofit. You can come in with no idea what the heck it is that you want to do. And, we are going to help you research, different industries that might fit you based off your personality style or based off of, the things you told us that you like or do not like. Um, I often say, if you tell me you hate a call center or you hate being on the phone and you tell me you want to apply at a call center, we're going to have to talk about that.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's good to know. So I guess overall, you just maybe the biggest homework would be to know what is it that you don't want to know for sure, what you don't want to do, and then
Mhm.
everything else will be defined as you go through the program. And then remind us again, how long is the program? What's the
Yes.
commitment to participate?
Absolutely. So for our military spouses, it does run 5 weeks long. During those 5 weeks, again, we do meet virtually twice a week for 1 hour, so a total of 2 hours virtually a week. Now, if I were to estimate, I've actually gone through the program and timed out the whole thing. So, depending on, of course, the student, it is going to be probably approximately 3 to 4 hours of, classwork outside of those virtual meetings. And I promise we're not writing essays or novels. Most of it is there are some videos. You will see me reading off a teleprompter for the first time. So, kind of set up like that.
Awesome. And I have used or I've attended a couple of workshops with the Sanders training. I mean, it's just phenomenal. It's really, really good opportunities to really learn how to pitch your meet the best cheerleader, I think, of yourself. Because I mean,
Mhm.
you're not selling goods, but you're sort of selling your skills or learning how
Yeah.
to strategically do that. Yeah. In
Mhm.
your experience, what kind of careers uh, ONU graduates tend to obtain after they graduate from this
Oh,
program?
I love this question. So, we do have a wide variety of fields that our alumni have gone into. Now, right now, of course, cybersecurity and IT are huge. Have a lot of our students going there. Banking, oddly enough, is a big industry that we see our students going into, and not necessarily just financial. Banks have every department you could think of: human resources, risk management, compliance. So, a lot of our students get into banking, human resources, administrative roles. Goodness, we have defense contracting. We've got everybody in a little bit of everywhere. So, realtors and entrepreneurs are also absolutely welcome in our program. We've graduated many of those as well.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for that. And then one question that I always get, and then individuals usually, always navigating this complicated spaces. When is the right time? When should I apply? On PCSing, I don't think I'm going to have the right connectivity, or I don't know if it's the right time, or I have too much going on in the fall. I have to wait till the kids go to school full time. When is the right
Mhm.
time, Olivia? How can we persuade right now individuals to just take the next cohort?
So it's a leap of faith. I'm going to say that it is a leap of faith. I can explain Operation New Uniform to you all day, every day, but until you come through the course, it might not make a ton of sense. It sounds like, oh, corporate sales, and then we do this, and then we care about your mindset. But I think taking a leap of faith right now is probably the best option. So, truth be told, you can apply at any time. And kind of what the application looks like: you'll go to our website, you hit the apply button, you fill out your basic information. You are not committed to anything at this time. You'll get an email that will give you access to my calendar. You can schedule a call with me, and we will just go over the program a bit more in depth. I am not a saleswoman. You can tell me this is not the right fit for me, and I will love that, because I don't want to waste your time, and I know you don't want to waste mine. So, um, yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. So if it's not the right time now, can I wait for the next? You said you had another cohort in the fall, perhaps, or maybe
Yes.
when things appear to be a little bit more in line, and then there's obviously virtual opportunities. So I'm going to go ahead and
Mhm.
take a moment right now, Olivia, and then we're going to go ahead and proceed to go in shout outs to share the website so that people can see what
Yes.
it looks like. Go to the
Mhm.
event section, explore, all the great stuff that is being done over at ONU. So, you can come out here, you can explore the in person, the online. Am I
Mhm.
doing a good sales pitch here, Olivia?
Yes.
Tell
Mhm.
me what's up. And then we have our events. Make sure the events is where I think you get to select all the different activities that are coming up that
Mhm.
you can sign up for your session. So just get to know you're going to be investing some good time here. Obviously, this is not for employment. Normally, we like to do the employers, but this is for a
Yes.
very structured research that is going to lead you to secure much rewarding career opportunities. So click that apply button and then go through
Mhm.
the process. What else can you tell us?
Yep. So we do have a class coming up. It starts on May 26th. So that is next Tuesday. So if
Yeah.
anybody is interested, I highly suggest you apply. You can even reach out to me directly on LinkedIn. I know it is kind of a quick turnaround, so we can always get you scheduled in for a call via LinkedIn if you're interested. So, yes, May 26th, that is our next class. And then after that, our last class for the year is going to be in September. So, September, about 5 weeks. So, a little bit into October, September to October timeframe. And you can register for classes at any time as well. Say you call me today and you want to register for September, you got it. I will put you right on that roster.
Perfect. That's wonderful. This is really good. Thank you for sharing that. And then right here, if you just right now you're driving, you're scrolling through all the various Facebook groups and all this stuff, it's okay. Listen, right here in the neighborhood. Meet us in the neighborhood. We are a research center where you can find more about ONU, have the direct link, but then also you can watch the webinar right here. And if you are a Blue Star Careers member, guess what? Today and through the rest of it, we are doing a $15 gift card on coffee because we want to know about your story. So come on here and tell us a little bit more about how you did it, what worked for you, or if you haven't done it, we still want to know because we love to give away free coffee cards to our members. So come out here and share with us. Olivia, come on over and share your story as well. Okay. So don't be shy about it. Come and tell us a little bit more about the opportunities. And then I see that we got some of the just the notifications of the links that we shared. There are in the comments where you can go straight to Ono. So you have the website in all three of the platforms. So make sure that you are exploring those a little bit further. And then let's take some time right now, Olivia, to send some shout outs to Leslie, to Jeffries, to Gina, to Satrine, Shelby, Teen, over in our Facebook group. And then, of course, we have also our Facebook page out here at Booster Families. We have Julie. Thank you, Amber. We have SSP Flags. Thank you for supporting this as well. And then let's do our LinkedIn really quick so that we send shout outs to those members who are here in our LinkedIn community and also supporting. And thank you, Paul, for tuning in and watching. Thank you, Jenna. Diana as well. Thank you for supporting. And then pay it forward. Remember, we are all on social. We are all active out there talking to other people. Other people see postings and they're talking about how they can transition. They're looking for the next route, but they don't know what to do. This seems like it's pretty doable. So, Olivia, walk us really quick again. What is the process? I apply today right after the segment. I submit. What should I expect next?
Yes. So after you hit, submit on your application, you will get an automatic email from Operation New Uniform. It's going to say, thank you so much for applying. Here is a link to schedule your intake call. So during that call, it is just an informational phone call. You're learning more about ONU. We are learning more about you and kind of what your career goals and background is. And then either, you're more than welcome to say, hey, thank you so much for this conversation, follow up with you later, might not be the right fit, or we can, register you right there on the call. It is very simple. The phone call, I promise, is not too stressful. I'm probably nervous as well. So a pretty easy application process.
Awesome. Thank you. So that is all, that is all really good info. So really good process. So if you can visualize it, take the time and then make sure that you block yourself that the time so that you can take the phone call and you are very intentional and really explore it. I promise you, investing into your transition onto your next career move and using the Sandler technique is the best thing you could ever do to your future career self, your growth. So perfect. All right, Olivia, any plans for the summer? Anything you can share for us as we transition? We're getting ready to close this segment. We want to be mindful of your time, but we like to be able to give you the opportunity for any other call to action.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with summertime coming up, I know that's kind of a busy season for a lot of us. Don't lose focus. Don't lose momentum. That is my call to action. Focus on yourself, love yourself, pour into yourself, and keep going. It can be hard. It can be stressful. That is why resources like Blue Star Family is why ONU, that we are here for you. So take the jump and keep it moving because we have goals to hit.
Excellent. Thank you so much for this, Olivia. Thank you, everyone who's watching and everyone else also who's going to reshare and pay it forward for those military spouses or service members who are seeking to transition very effectively and also really find that rewarding career vision. And so this is a great opportunity. So thank you very much for paying it forward and helping us grow. Thank you, Olivia, for your time today. And we'll be in touch, of course. And then we'll look forward to celebrating great graduations and successful transition.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura.